Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I guess we're going to do kind of a post-mortem on Doctor Who. We did a video the other day that quite a few people watched, actually. I was surprised. I didn't think that many people cared. They only care about Doctor Who when it's failing, I think, at this point. But we're going to kind of talk about where the show goes from here. Russell T Davies is out there doing the press tour. Now he's singing the praises of Disney, and the Hollywood Reporter is singing the praises of Russell T Davies.
Oh, the whole interview, it's just so, Davies is so up his own butt, I don't know how his partner has any room.
Ooh. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the ratings again. I don't think that they're going to be that great. And Ncuti Gatwa saying he feels sad. He feels sad for the people that tuned out because, you know, of diversity. But a lot of people tuned out, and they were trying to blame the weather. They said it was too nice outside, and that's why everybody,
I know, right?
everybody tuned out from Doctor Who. But as we will show you, a lot. This is coming from the UK. They're like, yeah, it's been branded woke and unwatchable, and the TV ratings are plummeting. Now, the only thing that's going to pull it out, I think, is Disney Plus, and they're never going to tell you what the numbers are.
No.
So
they're just going to say, oh, it's doing fine because Disney says so.
It's doing fine.
Because they're not going to admit that it's not doing fine.
Yeah, and there's a theory going around. I'm not sure, and again, apologies, I'm not sure who came up with the theory, but it's making the rounds on Twitter that Doctor Who was just kind of a something they had to do to get the Bluey rights or something, because the BBC's got the rights to Bluey, and Disney wants to keep the BBC happy so they can keep running Bluey, because that's like the biggest
I don't know, I thought
show
because
on
it's out of Australia, though, so I don't know.
Yeah, but they actually have, I guess BBC Worldwide has
had the rights for Australia.
Yeah,
that could be then. That's very possible.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. I can't verify it, but that makes sense.
I don't understand why Disney would throw this much money at Doctor Who and then completely change the show.
But not just that. Why would they throw money? Okay, they're throwing all that money at Doctor Who, and they had to take. It would make sense to take it because of Bluey, because it was already a losing proposition.
Yes.
And the reason they're probably wanting to make changes made was because their takeaway, stupidly, was the other shows weren't doing great because people didn't like that it was a woman doctor. So we'll just bring it back and put a man in, but we have to make sure that it hits all our DEI and agenda checkboxes, or you can't do it. So we'll just make it. And TikTok.
And then we'll say it's a brand new show. Right?
Yeah, season 1.
We're going to reset it. I mean, that's possible. I don't know. I mean, it's weird for Disney to throw this much money at Doctor Who. And I'm like, meanwhile, you own the Orville. And it's just sitting there. And we don't know if there's going to be another season of that or not. But people really want another season. But you own that one. You don't own Doctor Who.
Him. Just FYI. So.
No, a lot of people want another season of the Orville.
But Kneon especially wants another season.
I really
of the
do.
Orville.
I think more people probably watch the Orville than they're going to watch this. But let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Coming from the Hollywood Reporter, we'll just kind of bounce around here. Actually, tell you what, let's go out and see where we're at with the ratings. And then we'll go back to what Russell T Davies has to say. The GBN, I guess this is right-wing British stuff.
Oh, well, see, they're going to say it's because of that reason.
Yeah, but the reality is the ratings are terrible, right? I mean, we're talking half of what it was on Jodie Whittaker's
And that's
watch.
bad. Wait, on Jodie Whittaker's watch, the beginning or the end?
I think toward the end, yeah.
Oh, that's really bad.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been, like, I know Jodie Whittaker, the lowest for her, I think, was the Sea Devils, I think was one episode. But most of her episodes were, like, in the 3 and 4 million range. But they're going to say, well, because of, macroeconomic circumstances and iPlayer.
The weather was nice.
The weather was nice. Yeah, and the Christmas specials did better, but they didn't do great. For David Tennant, they did not do great.
I was going to say, the people who tuned in, they were excited because you got Donna Noble and David Tennant back. And then they dropped off, I think, each time. And then the Christmas one, a lot of people just watch it anyway because it's Christmas. And it was like the first real outing he had, you know? So they were like, well, let's take a look and see. And,
yeah, I think
and
so.
they're like, okay.
Well, remember, I mean, Jodie Whittaker, her first episode was one of the highest viewed episodes of Doctor Who ever. It was like 10 or 11 million. I think a lot of people were like, okay, female doctor, I got to watch this. I got to see, for better or for worse, what it's like if we got a female doctor. And
I don't think the Ncuti Gatwa not getting the same numbers is because he's black. I think it's because, it's another guy. You know, it's just a dude again. So what?
I think it's that, and they know that because all they've been talking about incessantly, all they've been talking about is representation and musical numbers and all this stuff. And it's like, okay, you've lost. Look, even if that is the case, because I said before, the other video, Russell T Davies' run on Doctor Who was pretty gay. Okay, it was.
Yeah,
I mean, you go back and watch it, you can definitely see it. Jack Harkness and Cassandra.
He's like my favorite character ever. I love him.
We had lesbian space cat ladies, and look, there was a lot of gay in that show, but he wasn't out there constantly being like representation.
But at the same time, it wasn't like they weren't. Yeah, exactly. They weren't like shoving it down your throat like they are this one. If you didn't like the episode, it wasn't because you didn't like it. It wasn't because you were a bigot,
right?
Automatically, because you're a terrible person who doesn't think that gay people exist. That was stupid and silly. And saying it wasn't very, he didn't. There was nothing in there like that is a lie too. Like you said, it was definitely in there.
Oh, it was
no
definitely
question.
There, yeah. Yeah, and you can see the change even from Russell T Davies' era to Moffat's era. Moffat's era became a little more traditional, a little more straight until Bill showed up. And I kind of wonder if they.
Bill! Did I mention that she likes women? Did we tell you for the 5th time this episode that she's a lesbian? In case you missed it, Bill likes women.
Bill likes women,
which I don't care.
I don't care.
And it was more annoying that they had to tell you like a dozen times. I was like, we get it.
I feel like Bill. I feel like Bill was put in there for DEI purposes.
I know, which isn't fair to the actor, the actress behind it. I'm just like, we get it. You made it very clear.
Yeah. Anyway, so this is a GBN, so take it as you will. They said the series is shipped to the US via Disney Plus, and its CGI and increase in budget value were plain to see throughout the double bill opener. Yeah, it looks good. The show looks good. I mean, I'm not going to knock the visuals. It's the best look since the Matt Smith era. They talk about cameos for Strictly Come Dancing favorites. What?
They're
bizarre musical numbers.
It's a dancing show and
yes. The Doctor's new adversary is played by American drag artist Monsoon, who has since gone viral following the show's return for correcting another character for using him pronouns incorrectly. They did this with David Tennant though too. This is the second time in like 4 episodes that
it's not necessary.
The audience has gotten lectured.
You did it once, got it. But you lectured it constantly. It's like, okay, you say it once, and then okay, cool, we got it, and then you just won't stop.
Yeah, they said there are some semblances to the Doctor Who of yesteryear, with a mention of the classic character, the Ronnie, as well as the Doctor's adopted home planet of Gallifrey, which I freaking hate that they retcon the Doctor. Doctor's not from Gallifrey now, and whatever. So all in all, the overhaul of the sci-fi show to seemingly incorporate gender politics and change the look of the series has left plenty to be desired by many watching at home. In fact, the overnight ratings for BBC One on Saturday night consisted of an underwhelming 2.6 million and 2.4 million per installment of the doubleheader. Now, they don't take into account streaming figures on iPlayer. They always say that, but then it turns out that the iPlayer numbers are never that great.
They haven't been so far, no.
Disney's gonna hide this one. They're gonna bury it. They're gonna be like, oh, Doctor Who's doing great, guys. Just trust us.
Hey, now, I want to take a moment to appreciate this cameraman, because he's manning that whole thing himself. Appreciation to camera people.
To camera persons.
I just want to say that, because I'm like, damn.
Not cameraman.
You can see the muscles in his leg. He's got that thing down. So appreciation to those fine folks who are camera operators. Continue.
Well, they're talking about how on X and Twitter they said, yeah, users are slamming the new series and its new look after the cast and crew told the old Doctor Who fans to stop watching in favor of a modern audience.
Yes.
That's just it. You can do this without preemptively telling people to check out, and that's what they keep doing. Well,
I think you mentioned before. It's like, if you have a really, 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 really good show, you can get away with maybe saying those things. If your show sucks, you just don't say that at all, because you're just going to chase your audience away. They have neither. Yeah. They don't have a good show, and they didn't have any basis to go after the audience, and it bit them in the ass.
This person said, yeah, the show is trash now. It's pretty bad when we can look back at Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall and say it's not as bad as what Disney and Russell T Davies have done.
I know, that's bad. Because Chibnall completely fucked it up.
Like every freaking IP ever. We're like, well, the prequels, the Star Wars prequels were terrible and it destroyed Star Wars, and then along come the sequels. It's like, oh, yeah, I guess it can get worse, can it? So, yeah, I mean, now we got Davies out there talking about working with Disney.
The whole interview, I'll
This is
save
a
you some
puff
time.
piece.
It's basically the interviewer kissing his ass and sucking him up to him. Take it as you will.
What?
And he's basically like, oh, I'm so clever. I'm so awesome. I'm amazing.
I liked
And then
Russell T Davies.
And then it gets to the end, and
Yeah.
they're talking about what did Disney think?
What Disney think about the flamethrowers, baby with a flamethrower? Everybody loved it. That's one of the best moments in the world. They're fantastic. Whatever you might think, there are no Disney notes. He said there were. Well, they actually correct him.
Interesting.
Somebody else actually said that they. There's another article out there. They actually said that they correct because he said that Disney gave them.
He did.
notes.
He did
said-
say that. I remember. We talked about it.
Yeah, you look at their outputs. While it covers all sorts of stuff, they're just as much up for this adventure as the rest of us. Basically, he's sucking up to Disney because if these 2 seasons don't do well, and Disney has agreed to help bankroll 2 seasons, that's probably it for Doctor Who. Because I think he said in another interview that the BBC can't afford to do Doctor Who on its own.
He also made comments that no one tells him no.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, it shows.
Yeah, but no, he did say, I know he said that Disney gave him notes. Now he's saying there are no Disney notes. Yeah, this is coming from Screen Rant. While Disney's creative control over Doctor Who is not extensively clear, they do offer some notes on the show as evidenced by their request to feature the Doctor earlier in the Christmas special. So they absolutely positively do. He said before that they pass along notes to him. So people were worried that the show was going to be Disney-fied, and it feels Disney-fied with all the musical numbers and the TikTok ability of it all. This feels like a very Disney thing. So yeah, sorry, there are no Disney notes. He flat out said there were Disney notes.
Yeah, well, he talks in circles anyway. We've noticed this.
Ncuti Gatwa says he feels sad for those tuning out of the new season of Doctor Who.
But you didn't. But here's the thing: those tuning out, you might have had them if you hadn't gone out and shot your mouth off, Ncuti. Is that what they call you, Ncuti? Because you went out and you went and told people, well, you're a bunch of bigots. Don't watch it then. If you're bigots, don't watch.
You know, I watched one of the clips, and he actually, if it wasn't for all the bullshit around it, he actually isn't that bad when he's playing it straight. They had a clip where he was talking about, because they were in 1963. He said, well, in 1963, I lived right over there with my granddaughter. So they actually referenced Susan Foreman, which I was surprised because they kind of left her for dead ages ago. But I'm like, if they actually played it straight and didn't lean into all the campy bullshit. And
Okay, but playing it straight, he doesn't mean he can't be gay, Doctor.
I don't mean he can't be gay.
Because somebody's gonna be like, "Oh my God, that's not what that means."
Like
anyway,
I watched that scene. I'm like, yeah, he can do the job. But what is preemptively turning everybody off to the show is everybody running at the damn mouth about the diversity and the inclusion.
well, they're all keep saying, "Oh, it's because you're bigots, because you don't like him because he's black or because the Doctor's gay." No, that's not the issue. That hasn't been the issue. The issue has been you guys have been actively out there attacking the fan base and the audience from the get-go. Had you not done that, had you not Davies not been like, "Oh, Chibnall's my friend, I'm doubling down the timeless children." Had you not done that, had you kept your damn mouth shut or full, your choice, we wouldn't have had. You would have had a lot more audience out there. We wouldn't have had to been told we were terrible people, and people would have come to watch it.
Yeah.
There's so many jokes. But you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, again, his original run, Russell T Davies' original run, you cannot deny that there were overtones of queerness.
No,
and you know
you
what? The
can't
show
deny
was
that.
still good. It didn't, but I don't remember him being out there constantly calling people a bunch of bigots if they don't watch his show.
No, it's like he got to Disney and then like, oh, well, now I can do whatever I want. And
It's
then
the talking point. Yeah.
So since this whole thing has started, even with Tennant and Donna Noble and stuff, with Catherine Tate,
yeah.
you guys have been out there like, agenda, and calling people bigots if you don't like it. You're tripling down on things that aren't necessary. And you're just like pushing this stuff. And then you're telling everyone, if you don't like it, don't come. So nobody does. And then you're mad about it.
They told them to touch grass, and then they complained that the weather was nice, and everybody went outside.
Like, touch grass. They did what you told them to. You said touch grass. So the weather was nice, and that's what you're blaming the reason that your show didn't do well. They did what you asked.
Literally told them to touch grass. Yeah. He said, this is Ncuti. He said, you're going to limit yourselves from a show that you claim to love because you don't like something about someone's appearance or their race.
That's not what it's about.
Nobody was. I had I can't say nobody, but like.
No, there are some, I'm sure.
Yeah, but most people were like, they were actually surprised. They're like, wait, the Doctor's going to be a dude again? Are we allowed to do that?
And then
Are
you
we
have
allowed
that
to do
one
that?
woman, that one black lady being mad because, it's not a white woman and you're mad about it or something. I'm like, wait, what? But again, these are the same idiots. Now, Russell T Davies doesn't have an excuse because he's older. That weren't around back when we were around, when it was normal. Like, nobody gave a shit. There were characters portrayed on that were not white all the time. And nobody fucking cared. The blockbusters, the big movies, they were led by diverse people, and nobody fucking cared.
It's funny because I was talking to our son, to Squid King, and he said it seemed like the 80s were actually like way more diverse and way gayer than...
They were!
Because back then...
Nobody cared!
Nobody cared. Back then, like, we had major stars, Hollywood stars, black folks. We had male and female. Eddie Murphy, Whoopi Goldberg, they're pulling in big numbers back then.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, Jackie Chan.
The Rush Hour movies, there wasn't that white person on it.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, this is not new. That you guys keep acting like, everybody's those bigots and stuff, but for decades, it was fine. For years, it was fine. It's only been recent time that you guys walked it back and now are acting like you invent it and trying to reinvent the wheel and make it square again so you can say, oh, I got to make it round.
That's exactly what's going on. Because, again, back in the 80s, like, everybody was freaking, like, even the straight men were queer adjacent. Like, they all wore makeup and had teased hair, for God's sake.
A lot of the straight men were out there doing dudes, too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, so I'm like, it didn't...
Come on.
All
these celebrities were everybody's friend.
Like, even... Like, I'm looking at these old sitcoms even. I'm like, this is the married dad and he dresses like a gay man. But it's the 1980s. Nobody gave a shit, right? I went to school with kids that were wearing clothes. Now you'd be like, well, you're obviously queer code. Back then it was just like, no, it's just like, I like pink shirts. I think I had a pink shirt. I'm pretty sure I had a pink shirt.
We had all kinds of, we had stuff that changed colors. Hey, I was thinking about the co-ed naked billiards or co-ed naked shirts. Remember the co-ed naked shirts?
I do remember those. Yeah.
I had one that was the billiards. It was getting felt on the table. Co-ed naked shirts. They should bring those back. They were fun. So, anyway,
TLDR. They told the audience to go away. The audience went away. Now they're going to cry about it.
And it's because you're racist. It's like they went away because you keep calling them racist. Reiterating that point is not going to win them back. For fuck's sake, it's not hard.
Yeah. So I think it's going to get worse from here because that was the premiere. And more people are going to watch the premiere.
This is what the dumbass said. It's tricky because you want to celebrate the win for inclusion, which is, again, and before recent years, it was inclusive. And you do celebrate the win because it signifies progress. But let's not stop here. There's a lot more to go.
But he's like, well, it warms my heart to know little black kids can be like, I can be the doctor. They already had a black woman as the doctor.
Right.
Like, you've already been there, done that, right? And honestly, if again, I don't think he's bad when he's, no pun intended, but when he's like playing it straight. But the show is so damn goofy and campy, it's hard to take it seriously. Moffat actually, a lot of people had problems with him having these questions he never answered or whatever, but he made the Doctor a larger than life figure. The Doctor was, there were some goofy moments, but there were always legit stakes. The Doctor was large and in charge, and this Doctor, like, he's running away from the monsters. I'm like, what the hell? What the hell? This isn't the Doctor. But anyway, we're going to wrap this up. We need to wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.